Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 36 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. Today, I'd like to take a little peek at constructs from Mana and Artifice, because I think they're kind of similar to golems from Thaumcraft, or rats, in that they're entities that you can place in the world and have them do things for you. So there's several things I'd like them to do. First off, I'd like to try making a tree farm, because that's always a good, let's check out how this mod works kind of deal. And also, I'm hoping that, you know, having a tree farm here would be cool, mostly because, you know, my rats were misbehaving. I think they're going to be patched, so they might behave again in the future. And we'll see about, you know, doing something else with them. But I figured if my old tree farm ain't working, plus I'm, like, really out of wood. I think I have 13 oak planks left, and that's about it. I might need to actually go cut down some trees in order to make a golem, or a construct. So we'll see. We'll see. It's not looking good, though. So to get into constructs today, I did do a little bit of homework between episodes, playing with them in a creative world, so I have a pretty good idea of how they work. So without further ado, let's get into it. So there's a whole chapter on constructs in the book here. So there's sample for automation forge rune, there's automation sided inventories. This tells you about how things work. So there's some stuff and some things that we're going to want to get in order to get this cooking. So first off, animated constructs. That's the main chapter on how this whole thing works. They're humanoid-shaped constructs that have been imbued with magic in order to animate them to a semblance of life. Making the parts. Constructs are created from 5 parts: the head, the torso, the legs, and 2 arms. And they dictate what the construct is capable of doing. So we can flip through the chapters here and see what's possible. Or if we just look up construct in JEI, we'll see a bunch of stuff. So there's several tiers of body parts. So there's like wood, and then there's stone, and then there's like gold and iron and diamond and obsidian. And each of these different materials, there's 6 of them, have different stats. And you can kind of take a peek through the book here to get an idea. So mostly it affects how much health they have, if they can swim in water, how fast they move, and their knockback resistance. Those are the main things. And their health, yeah, I think I talked about that one already, right? So you can see the different stats that are here. So basically, you know, the tougher ones are slower, is the gist, right? And you can mix and match however you want. So if you want like a wooden head and an obsidian body, right, you'll have some combination that might work for you. So I'm probably going to just start with a really basic wooden one, and we'll see how that works out. The other thing we need to do is get a construct workbench, which I'll be crafting here in just a moment. Construct control rods, some chimerite crystals, which will be useful in doing the setup. And then we have to summon the construct. And once that's all set, then, you know, we can start commanding him to do things. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So I want to make a construct work table, which shouldn't be too bad. See, I actually do need to go get wood. That's funny to me. I was hoping that I would have enough, but I think I've actually used up all of my wood, believe it or not. And you, what do you got in you? Nothing for now. I'm going to actually probably get rid of you. I'm going to move this down one. Alright, back in a second once I chop down a tree or two. Alright, back to work. So, oak, wood, log, construct, work table. Check. The other thing we're going to want to get is a construct control rod, which needs a construct frame rod. That might be a rune forgy recipe. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like one. So we're gonna want to get a construct frame rod pattern. We're also gonna need some more patterns here. So let's refresh our memory on how rune forging works, right? Because, you know, we played with this a little bit. So what we need is an unfired rune plate, right? We're going to get a bunch of those. We're going to fire them up, and then we're going to etch them here. And by the way, constructs can fully automate rune forging, I think. So let's get a few of these dudes. I'm going to want like a bunch of them, to be honest with you. So let's just get like a stack. By the way, speaking of numbers of things, This was 2,000 until I just used a bunch of them. But we have 2,000 of all the resources that I would want there. Clay, we're getting there on, because that, remember, is, you know, only a 25% chance. But look, it totally did the thing. Nice. Just calling out, Cobbleworks worked. Just calling that out, that's all. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, so what was I saying? That's right. Mana and Artifice. So I want you, and let's just get like a bunch of blue dudes, because a lot of runes don't matter what color you use, right? So we'll see what we can get. That should be fine. Yeah. So let's get like, how about 32 of them? Does that sound fair? I think that sounds fair. And I'm gonna fire these dudes up. Remember, 16 at a time is the max that can go into the Rune Forge. So I'll be back in a minute when that's all said and done. All right, one set down, one set to go. So I think what we're gonna do is put this in here. And I think it's just kind of straight down the middle. Something like that. Isn't that? I mean, yeah, it very much looked like it was straight down the middle there. That should be good. Do the thing. Oh, the pattern is this. Oh. Alright, so I think this should do it. Hooray! Nice. Alright, cool. And then, if we want to look in here, the best way to do this is look up Rod. And then the rune smithing recipe, so that was the pattern. This is the... We're going to need some superheated purified Vintium ingots. Superheated purified Vintium ingots. Superheated purified Vintium ingots. So that's just a purified Vintium ingot in there. Okay, cool. And then purified Vintium ingots. I assume I smelt that? Yes. Cool. Okay. So you there, and then we superheat it in the Rune Forge, and we're good to go. All right. So this dude goes on here. He gets the blue stuff, and then I have to hit it with the hammer, right? Yep. There we go. I like how the ingot like sinks into the, that's cool. That is cool beans right there. I like that. All right, so then you're gonna make your construct control rod. So this is the thing that controls your constructs once we have them up and running. We've also got the construct workbench, which is gonna need a little bit of space to operate in. I'm gonna work on this outside, but I really need to get around, towards making some kind of wizard's tower or something, right? Now the other thing we're gonna need here from Mana and Artifice is some of these Chimerite crystals. So I'm thinking I'm going to just pick cyan ones because they look cool. And that should be fine by me. You need 8 of them, okay? And that's very important. You need 8 crystals, and you need to place them somewhere around this thing. They don't have to be, they don't need line of sight. They don't need, you know, but they have to be within a few blocks, I think. There's details here in the animated construct section about where to place them. Without line of sight, it doesn't matter, right? So they can be on walls, they can be on ceilings, but they have to be within 5 blocks of the workbench in any direction. So you can see in the picture here, they're just kind of all over the place. Doesn't matter. Now the next thing we're going to need to get are the 5 body parts for the constructs, right? So to make those guys, we're going to want a basic head, right? So to make that, we're going to need a construct frame head, and then we're going to put the material on this dude and get him going, right? So that looks cool to me. So we want a head. We're going to want, let's see, constructs. We're going to want legs and a torso, okay? So we're going to need the frames for those. Then we're going to have to make the actual construct with the superheated stuff, right? So I'm going to need a few more superheated, I presume, Vintium. So let's get some more of you. I'm low on purified Vintium. That's all right. We can get more. it ain't that bad of a recipe. I'm gonna get just a few extra of these. I feel like that's not a bad idea. We'll let that start superheating while we're waiting. And I'm going to now, off camera real quick, draw each of the construct patterns that I need. Because I need to make 2 arms, legs, body, and head. Now, one more note. Arms are different from the head and the torso. Because arms determine what the construct will be able to do. So there's several kinds of arms here that we want to pay attention to. Bladed arms, for example, allow for faster, more powerful attacks. So if you want your golem to be combative, bladed arms is what's up. Okay. There's also grabber arms, allows weak attacks and carrying of items. Okay. The other thing here is hammer arms, allows for slower, moderately powerful attacks with higher knockback. Okay, that might also be required for runesmithing, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm guessing it might be, but like I said, not super sure. There's other types of heads as well, so if you want them to breathe underwater. There's also smart heads, which I'll talk about in a little bit. It gives them the ability to do more commands, basically. So very, very cool. Axe arms, this is one we're going to want. Allows for moderate attacks and chopping down trees. Cool. So what we're going to want, there's a left arm and a right arm. So we're going to want to make one arm an axe arm and another one a grabber arm so that he can chop down trees and he can pick up items. The items I want him to pick up, by the way, are going to be saplings that he's going to be planting. Cool? So let's go ahead and get that ready, right? So you can see here for his arms, he's going to need, you know, quite a few construct frame things. So I'm going to do a lot of this frame stuff off camera because until I get him automated, that's going to be just a little bit tedious. So I'm going to make this off camera, like I said, and then we'll come back when it's time to do the artificing stuff. Cool. One more note. Let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to mention? There's one more rune that I'm going to want to make, I think. Let's see. No, not that one. This rune, the rune of marking. We're going to need some of these. And I get 4 of those per craft. That's good. Alright, I think this is the head. Woot! Whew. These things are tricky to make, let me just say. A little bit tricky. Not terrible. I'm trying to determine, like, is this easy enough to, like, figure out the pattern by just looking at it? I don't know. We'll have to play. And torso? Woot! Alright, nice. Getting the hang of it. Once you've done a few of these, you start to understand like where the boundaries are and where things should go, and it starts to all come together, right? So the next thing we're going to want are legs. So that needs hips and a couple rods. We're going to need a handful of rods here. And hips are complete. You know what? I'm going to change gears just a little bit. I'm going to make a hammer golem because I want him to automate this rune forging stuff. And then I will use that hammer golem to make an axe golem because I'm tired of doing this by hand. I'm not even going to lie. I am tired of doing this by hand. So, hey golem, you're up. So that's what I'm going to do. Cool. So I'll be back. I'm going to make the hammer recipe instead of the axe. And I'll do the grabber as well because he's going to need to grabber arm the stuff. But I think I can fully automate rune scribing here. I think. So, yeah, I'm going to make the grabber arm and the hammer arm. And then I shouldn't have to do this no more. Oh, did I go not high enough or something? No, that looks pretty right to me. Did I go too fat on it? I can't tell. Yeah, I think I totally went too fat on it. That's better. Alright, now I'm going to do this and get all these bits. Cool. So, again, back in a minute when this is done. Sweet. I do like this process. It's fun. It's just there's a lot of steps to it. So that's why automating it is good. But it is cool. Like, it's really neat, the whole process. I think what I'd like to do is see these patterns last longer, maybe? I don't know, that's just me. I think I'd like to see the patterns last longer, but meh. Alright, so I'm ready to do some artificing. Let's put this back on single block. I had to go mine some obsidian real quick. And I'm going to move you over here. Boop, so that I can put this here, here, and here. Though not you. You. That looks cool. And I went between episodes and found some more of this stuff. So what I probably want is... Adamus is the diamond. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Triangulus is the triangle. And then this is the square. Cool. Nice. So that should cover most of what I need to do. So let's give this a shot, shall we? So I'm going to put away you for a minute. Let's start with the head, right? And I really can't wait until he adds JEI integration here, because I really need JEI integration here. But what we want is the basic head, right? So that's going to be any material. And just as a refresher, right, I think the material that we're going to want, let's see, probably want wood for the most part, because that's going to be the fastest speed. Because these guys aren't going to be doing any combat, right? So I don't need, like, health or knockback resistance or anything like that. But for the arms, I think the materials matter a little bit more. Now, iron unlocks at tier 3. Gold is 3, obsidian is 4, diamond is 5. You can modify these guys once they're made. But I think what I'll do is stone arms and wood for the rest of the body, because I need to get to tier 3 before I can make better stuff. Cool. So let's get a bunch of wood. So just real quick, though. Is it wood blocks or planks? I forget. So basic head is going to be logs. Logs, okay. So oak, wood, logs. So we're going to want 3 of them, and then that and the Ventium dust. And then you, right? And then it's going to be diamond, circle. So I click diamond, and then I click circle. And that should be cool. And you can see it draining my mana in the top left, by the way. Hooray! We've got the basic construct for a head. Nice. Okay, cool. And then the next one we're going to want is the torso. So that's going to be the same kind of thing, right? And I'm going to go wood on that. And then the torso. And that guy is diamond square. Diamond square. Cool. I like that. Diamond square. Beautiful. Nice. Now hammer, I think I'm going to go for the right arm. Okay, so that's going to be diamond triangle. It's going to be 3 stone and a rod. Okay, so we're going to want 3 stone. You guys, was it 2 Ventium? Yes. And diamond triangle. Diamond triangle. That's cool. Right, and that'll give me the right arm, I believe. Right hand hammer. Yes, and a stone one. Cool. Right arm hammer. Beautiful. And now I want the grabber arms, and I want a left arm, right, left. So that's going to be the same kind of thing. It's going to be diamond upside down triangle, which I don't have programmed yet. I do have one of those, though. Diamond upside down triangle. So 2 of you, this, the grabber. And I'm going to do stone for this one as well. Diamond, and I'm going to do the upside down triangle. I'll just draw it, because I can do that. The pattern wasn't recognized. I said I could do that, but clearly I was wrong. There you go, upside down triangle. And that should be cool. Nice. So that is your left grabber arm. So now we need legs, right? So for the legs, it's going to be 2 rods, I believe. Right? So where's the legs? Where's the legs? Where's the legs? There we go. It is 2 rods, and then the frame for the hips. Cool. right? 3 of the wood, and then 2 Vintium dust, and then it's going to be diamond, square, diamond. Cool. So diamond, and then square, and then once diamond's done, we'll hit it again. Is he going? No, he's going. Cool. I think he needs to be full before you click him. I think I just learned that. And that will get us the legs that we need. Diamond, square, diamond. Yes. Did I miss a Vintium? I might have. There we go. Now we're cooking. Hey, cool. You can do the shapes in whatever order. You can do that before you do the recipe. That's neat. Now, once we have all the parts set up, in order to summon the construct, we need to imbue it with some magic. And the way we do that is by casting spells on those 8 crystals that we put around the thingy outside. And the type of spell that we cast will affect the summoned construct in different ways. So there's a total of 8 affinity points because there's 8 crystals, right? And you can see the effects that happen here. So basically, if you use air spells, it'll make them run faster. So 1 move speed per point. If you use arcane, it gives them magic damage resistance. Earth gives them physical damage resistance. Ender lets them carry capacity more. Fire, ignition when attacking, and water is buoyancy, basically whether or not they can float and move around in water well. So for me, I think I want air for the most part. I wouldn't mind some Ender, but I don't even know if I have any Ender spells yet. Did I make an air spell? Really, I've only made 2 spells so far. And I don't know, crystallize, what affinity this is. I'm assuming this is arcane, right? Is that probably a safe bet? Crystallize, does it tell me? I don't know that it tells me what crystallize is. Yeah. Also, I don't know what this is. What's this? Is this? I know this is telling me like the components, but I don't know why I need... Maybe that's part of... that might be one of the things that we have to draw when we're doing the ritual. But anyway, so I either can just infuse him with fire and call it a day, or I can make an air spell so I can infuse him with air. I think for his purposes, let's just infuse him with fire and call it a day, right? I'm not going to worry too much about this for now. So let's make a fire damage spell, right? I'm going to take a quick nap through the night here, and let's make this guy. Sound cool? So to put him together, I believe, and then there's one more step, I think. Let's see. So we want animated constructs. Place all 5 parts on the workbench and activate the workbench itself with an empty hand, right? So that sounds cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. And we're going to cast spells on each of these crystals. And you'll notice that it adds like a little thing above the crystal letting you know what type of spell has been done. So we can mix and match these. We could have like 2 fire, 2 arcane, 4 air, and that would affect them differently, right? I just happen to only have fire spells at the moment, so I'm just going to do all fire, because for this guy, I don't think it matters too much. Then what we want to do is put his body parts on the workbench, which, by the way, looks super cool. In case anybody's asking. Hello, little guy. And then activate with an empty hand. I don't know if it's a right click. Oh, there we go. Hello. He's infusing. Nice. That's cool. Look at it go. Hey, buddy. What's up? We've got a little animated construct ready to do some work for us. All right. So there's a couple ways we can control him, and that's not the thing I meant to do. Let's put away our fire spell before we accidentally light our new construct on fire, because that's absolutely the type of thing I would do by mistake. Basic commands, right? The first step in a command is to use the control rod on the construct itself. That sets the construct, makes sense. So stay is activated by clicking on the construct a second time. So if you want him to stay in a position, you click him once, boop, and then click him again, boop, and now he's staying. If you want him to follow you, the book will tell you that you click on him once and then you click on any other block, right? Follow. Activated on the rod, and then any block other than the construct, right? So that'll make him follow you. Return to table, commanded by activating the rod on the empty construct workbench. And there you go. Follow Lodestar. That's what we're going to see next, right? So if we want him to get back on the table, we could click on him there. What I'm going to do is click on him and then click on the ground, and he should be following me. Hey, little buddy. You are super awesome, and welcome to my home. Come on inside. You can come in. It's okay. Yeah, come on in. You're good. Cool. And, you know, let's just put you... I'm going to have you just chill right there for a minute. Thank you. So how do we make him do stuff? Is absolutely the right question that you should be asking right now. And for that, we're going to need a Lodestar. Is a way to set up advanced logic for your constructs. Basically, it's a block you place in the world, and then you can set commands within the block, and whatever golem you assign to the block or construct, I'm going to call them golems. I'm just letting you know, in case you haven't figured that out already, I'm going to keep calling them golems by mistake. But you click on the Lodestar, and in the Lodestar, there's a UI that lets you program what the golem or construct will do, right? So the Lodestar is pretty easy to make, so that's cool. We're going to want to make one of those, done and done. And then the next thing to make real quick is the markers. Now, we're going to want several of these, so I'm going to get like a dozen. So I'm going to make 3 sets of these real quick. So I need some more purified, superheated Ventium, right? Purified, superheated Ventium stuff. And that'll be cool. Give me all 10 of them. Smelt them up. I'm just going to get 3 for now, because that's how many of these dudes we want. So I'm going to make the doohickeys here real quick, and we will be right back. So by the way, because it's sometimes tricky to tell, it's 4 across the top, 3 down, 4 across the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3 down like that. Cool. So that's the pattern. Like I said, the first couple times you do this, it's a little tricky to kind of visualize the pattern that exists, but it ain't that big a deal. Trust me, it ain't that hard. Are you done? You are, but you're not what I wanted. I wanted the orange ingot. Did I get the wrong one? That's a superheated Ventium ingot. All right, so my bad. All right, so not bad. At least we get 4 at a time for those guys, so that's cool. I'm thinking, yeah, I think that I'd like to see patterns more better. I'd like patterns to be more better. Maybe last like 3 or 4 iterations before you have to craft a new one every time. That would probably be cool. You know, my thought was they would always last forever, but maybe not. And if it can't last forever, then what I would say is that's okay, but make it more than once, and we'd probably be cool. All right, so let me take you guys out of here. And let's see how this guy can automate his stuff. And I'm probably going to need a few chests. That's right, we do not have wood in there. Give me 2 chests, please. Thank you. Oh, I actually have a few chests. Good. All right, you're with me, buddy. Actually, click and then ground equals follow. Right. All right, outside we go, because we're going to need a little bit of space for this. Not super sure how it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. So he should be able to do both the runic anvil and the rune scribing, I think. So let's check out the Lodestar, because this thing is really neat. Now, I did practice this for chopping down trees. So this is something I didn't practice for, but we'll see. Hello, Lodestar. How are you? Ooh, fancy. Look at that. How cool is that thing? So this is the UI. It's a work in progress. There's some things that I talked to Mythian about. He wants to tweak and change a little bit how stuff works. It's really, a lot of this mod is a work in progress, right? And it's already really cool. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here. But here are the different commands you can give him on the left, right? So take item from container, place item into container, scribe rune, forge rune, chop trees, harvest crops, plant crops, activate block, patrol, move, butcher, breed, place block at position. Cool. So most of these things, in order to give him commands, need to use these markers that we just made. So the way this works is, so like, say we wanted him to move, you would just give him a move command, and that adds it here. So like, let's say we wanted him to move between 2 different positions, okay? So if you click on the move command, you can see there's a spot for a marker. So let's say we wanted him to move here, and then move over to here, right? So we're going to get these 2 runes that mark it. So I'm going to click on this move block here, and then I'm going to click on this move block and put the rune in here, right? And you can see what position it's marked at. And now if I tell him, go ahead and do what the lodestar says, he's just going to move back and forth between those 2 positions. Cool, right? The other cool thing about this is if you give it a redstone signal, he stops doing the commands. So if you give the lodestar a redstone signal, the golem or the constructs that are doing what the lodestone says stop functioning. Cool. Right? I think that's kind of cool. And then if you don't want him to listen no more, you can click on him and say, hey, come follow me. And then he's going back to just following you. If you want to remove a command, you hold right click and then left click. So hold right click and then left click. Got it? Good. And then when you do that, the rune markings that you had will come back into your inventory. If you didn't take them out of the slots already. So let's say scribe rune, right? So this is where you can tell him, I want you to scribe a rune for me. So let's go over here. We're going to click on this block. And this is going, there's a block here that shows like what's highlighted by the rune, but if it's inside a solid block, it's hard to see. That's a bug that he told me he's working on fixing. It's a pretty, simple, straightforward one. But it does tell you on the tooltip like what block it is. So it says rune scribing table, so that makes it easy, and also the position. So that's pretty neat. And then we can specify what rune to scribe. So like what we could say, right, is we want to scribe rune. And then what we could say is take item from container. And I'm going to do that same container. You can filter it too if you want. Okay. Pretty cool. And then maybe we would place item into container. And you don't get to filter that, because what he'll do is he'll just put whatever he's holding into that container. Okay. And then maybe we would say, let's have a chest here with, I want some more superheated Vintium, because I want to make, I'm gonna try and automate the rune process. So let's get some more Vintium. Oh, good, we have some. Good, good, good. All right, and Golem, you're with me, right, little buddy? Cool. You're going to be in here. So we're going to say from the chest, and I want one so I can use it to filter, place item into container, right? So then we're going to take item from container, the chest, and what we want to take is a superheated Vintium. Cool. Okay. And then we would want to place item into container, and that's going to be you again. So that's the runic anvil. So this is the runic anvil. And then finally, we would want to forge rune on the runic anvil. So what should happen, right? Now, I would have to manually put a rune pattern in here to kick this off. If I wanted to, I could also have another chest, or the same chest, with blank rune patterns, and tell him to grab the rune pattern out of the chest. Now, here's the deal. These guys can only follow up to 8 commands. So you can put 8 commands in here before you can't do any more. However, if you want to exceed that limit, you can get the smart brain dudes. Construct smart head. Cool. And that will determine how many executional tasks there can be. So stone will give you up to 12, and you can see, diamond will let you do 50 tasks, which is kind of cool. Nice. And the smart head just needs a mote of magic. Neat. All right, so let's see if we can get him to behave and do what I want him to do. Because I think that should be it, right? Did I give him everything? The only thing I have to do is tell him what rune to scribe. So in order to get these, we need ritualist villagers, right? And we can trade emeralds for the scraps that we need. So let me grab some emeralds, and we're going to need the rune scribing table. And I'm going to ask Buddy Golem to chill here. That means you no longer follow me? All right, let me pop over to a village and get myself some of the things that we need real quick. Here we go. Frame pattern rod. I definitely want one of them. And rune pattern marking. That's cool. That's the other one I wanted, for sure. And now that he's done his thing, he should refresh. Cool. Rod, marking, and earth. All right, well, I just wanted rod and marking, so I got lucky on that. Neat. Now, unfortunately, he won't reset his trades, but meh. I would like to see a better way to do that. I'm not a huge fan of having to do the villager trade thing, but I think Mythian already said that that's kind of a temporary mechanic, so that's fine, right? Now, I may... Yeah, what I'm thinking is I might want to pull the item out of a chest. So what if I cleared this out? And that's going to give me a bunch of blank rune things here, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to say let's use this as an input chest for blank runes. Does that sound cool? I like the sound of that, right? So what we're going to say is your first task will be to take item from container, and that would be the chest, okay? And what you can take is blank patterns, okay? And then you will place item into container, and that would be the rune scribing table, okay? Then what I want you to do is scribe a rune at the rune scribing table. That's this guy. I can tell because of the block position set. And the rune I want you to make is a marking rune, okay? Cool. And then what I want you to do is take item from container, rune scribing table, okay? Then I want you to place item into container, anvil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see if this works. Then take, then place, and then hammer will be all we can do, right? So then what we're going to want to do is take from the chest superheated Vintium, and then place into the anvil, and then forge rune at the anvil. And that should be cool. So if I put one rune pattern in here and tell him to go by clicking on the rune stone, he should grab the thing, put it in there, scribe the rune, take it out, did he do the thing? Kinda. Kinda-ish. Did you do the pattern bit? He's kinda doing it. I missed the part where he did the pattern. I didn't see him actually do that. There we go. Now he's got the pattern. Maybe because there's no chisel and hammer in here? That might be it. That might be the problem. Nope, you are definitely not doing that correctly, sir. Wonder if I can blacklist those items. Yeah, close, close. So the rune scribing table will accept patterns from the top and bottom, and the chisels on the sides. So I think for the rune scribing table, right, so when we want to place items in a container at the rune scribing table, we want this to be on the top, not on the side. Okay, so that's probably part of my problem. And then we're going to want to scribe the room and then take item from container. We want to take it from the top. Okay. And that's probably where I went wrong. And the anvil can be interacted with from any side. Okay. So let's put you and you in here again. Let's tell you to follow me. And then hopefully you'll behave now. Let's see. Click and click. So grab the thing. Scribe the rune. Ooh, that's a good sound. That's a good sound. Look, he's doing things. That's cool. I think it's working. Now, I want to say the speed at which he operates is determined by the quality of the arm. So, oh, look. Oh, hello. Look! Look, he did it! Look, he did it! And then that, and then hammer it. It's working! Now, if I had more things I could do here, I could totally have him then take the item off of here and put it away. But I don't have enough slots because I didn't make a smart brain. But that's okay. How cool was that? How cool was that? I love that. That was awesome. All right, what I'm going to do is wrap up the episode here, and then I want to get more of these. So I'm going to go to a village. I'm going to get a villager to become one of these guys, and I'm going to get some other patterns that I'm going to need. That was cool, though, wasn't it? I thought that was really neat. That is super cool. And then what we'll do is we'll come back next episode and maybe make one of these guys to be a tree farmer. Does that sound fun? I hope so, because I think that's the plan. All right, so for now, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Man on Artifice is cool. It is definitely a work in progress mod, but what's already here is super neat. And by the way, I have now done a lot of what we need to do to progress here. We only have a couple more tasks and we could bump it up. So that's pretty awesome. All right, wrapping up point for the episode. Darwell20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed it, and take it easy.